About money. Okay, we are live and we are tweeted out. How's everybody doing? All right, so I don't really remember what I was doing last time I was playing Elden Ring. It's been a minute. Also, don't remember the controls because I played too many games that play like this lately. So this is not going to be easy. Okay, that was not something we wanted to do. That's how we block. Night night. I don't think that's what I wanted to do, but whatever. Oh, that might actually be useful. Oh yeah? Yep. So I'm thinking I haven't been down this bridge yet. If I ain't picked any of that up. Alright, 6 more outs. Oh, I can't kill that thing. It's not even hostile. That ain't right. Yeah, I don't remember none of this. How do I summon my horse? Ah, okay. There we go. Nope, nope, nope. Shit. That was really, really dumb. Okay. I've had games like that. Do I drop down? Can I survive? I don't think I could, though. So. Okay, I think I remember this. Find the zone, Munos. What the hell? Yeah, I feel like actually that looks familiar. The map is not really useful here, unfortunately, because I don't know. GG. Ooh, jawbone axe. GG. Nice, got him. Oh God, where'd you come from? Oh God. Oh, fuck off. Where'd you come from? I don't know what to say about that one. Okay, let's just go to the stake. Hopefully it's like right there. Kinda. God damn it. Why am I getting attacked by these mofos? Oh, okay. Yeah, when Madden decides to screw you over with the fumble when the game's over and you're trying to run the clock out, that's when you know Madden's just decided you're not going to win that game. It's hard to be mad. The CPU just decided you don't deserve it. Is this a dead end? Yeah. Oh, they do give up. Oh god. Let's just putter on out of here, actually. Thing is, I don't really know where I'm going. Ooh, beach. Nice. Okay, this looks familiar, but I think I got here and I didn't know how to get over there. And if I go in the water, I drown. Okay, what if I... Uh, okay. Ooh. Uh-oh. I don't like this. I don't like it. Oh, what? Can't use ash summons. Is that fair? Oh, get up, get up. Hits on him. Go. Okay, it's not really a boss. It's just a slightly tougher enemy. Is this a trap? Could be. No. Alright. What? That's disgusting. But otherwise, this is a dead end, ain't it? Yeah, I can't go in the water. What's the note? Didn't expect head. Okay. Okay. Was that like what I'm supposed to do here? I don't think I buy it. Okay. I remember where that is. I feel like there must have been an item here that I picked up. I get down. Can I survive that fall? No. Julio would have gotten on base there. God damn it, I gotta get back up there to get it. Fudge. I wonder if it's even worth getting, honestly. Where I'm supposed to go, or is that... No, I've been there. Yeah, that's the same hole. Yeah, I've been there. Oh, get away from me. Oh, one of these. I don't like fighting these guys. Fuck them. Ready to get over there? Doesn't look like it. Ooh. Oh, okay. Alright, 3 more outs. Seawald pitching again tonight. What? Oh. Weird. Jesus. Really? Fucking hate printer software, man. You guys have no fucking idea. Okay, so... Yeah, I don't really know where I'm going, what I should be doing. I don't know if I'm in the right place. I don't know if there's, like, something I have to do here I haven't done yet. Like, I don't remember where I was. I feel like Gandalf trying to navigate the mines of Moria, man. Like, I've been over there. I got the severed head. Hopefully that was important. But I'm wondering if I should maybe teleport back to, like, the main lands between continent. Find something to do there. I don't know, man. Okay, this is where I could get my thing back, but that's not really going to help me. Oh, fuck. I'm dead. Whatever. Yeah, maybe I should just leave here and consider coming back. Yeah. Oh, come on, Mariners. Don't make this a pain in my ass. Jesus, okay. I know there's a boss up there. I feel like he's still gonna destroy me. Maybe I just head up there and see if I can get him. Oh, shit. Damn it. Yeah, there's that boss up there. I haven't killed him yet. I could just go try a few times here. I feel like he's beyond me, but I could be wrong. Hey, Snacks, how you doing? Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit! Okay, let's try off the horse. Yeah, I'm not doing any very much damage to him. Unless I can get, like, underneath his attacks. Yeah. I don't think I'm high enough level to fight him yet. What was his name? Blackblade Kindred? Let me check the recommended level. I'm in, like, 72 or something. Actually, it says he is doable when you're, like, level 60. Hey, Snacks, do you want on the call? I can arrange for that. Okay. Okay. This boss is really tough.
So,
Hey, Snacks, how you doing?
had a really tough day.
Just like in a general sense of like being beat down, or did something really shitty happen?
Both.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm playing for a little bit, then I'm gonna go eat dinner, and I'll probably play more tonight.
Solid.
Mhm. This guy is so damn strong. Oh my god, he's relentless. Feel like I'm probably not gonna be able to do it. Oh, I saw your posts in the
Which ones?
basketball Discord. I don't think you'd have to give up a lot to get Bradley Beal. I think the Wizards would give him away because they want to get rid of his contract.
Well, yes, but that's the thing is, in order to match his contract, that's a hefty fucking contract.
It is. It
So,
is.
it's the same things that it's been talked about in terms of giving away, which is Lowry and Hero. Which,
Mm.
okay, fine, I get it. But that's the
Oh
problem is
crap!
when I look at Beal, I'm thinking, I don't know. You know, I'm not really sold on him being moving the needle for a substantial period of time. I think maybe just 2 to 3 seasons. Whereas I think someone like Lillard would last longer. And even the Kyrie discussions, I'm all like that.
Well, Kyrie, you wouldn't even have to trade for.
Yeah. But Beal, I just don't know. Maybe it would work out really good. I don't know. But here's the thing, and what really gets me is the idea, because of that tweet that said the finalists, quote unquote, appear to be uh, Miami and Phoenix. I'm like, on what fucking planet is Phoenix the better choice?
I don't know what Phoenix
Because,
has left to trade. They traded everything for KD.
and that's another problem too. But like you said,
At least
that
Miami has
that
picks.
right, like you said, that Phoenix already traded everything just to get KD. But when you look at what the proposed roster would then be, it's something that sounds really good on paper. Durant, Booker, Beal. But then you got to sit there and say, well, there's only the one ball, and their depth is absolutely destroyed because they're going to have to trade everything they've got left to get Beal.
Mm.
And defensively, that team is super subpar. So all I see happening there is they would just compete against Denver at a worse level than they did this year.
Yeah, I don't think Beal. I think Beal will get traded. I just don't think it's going to be to Phoenix. I don't see that
Yes,
one.
there's almost no chance whatsoever that he remains in Washington next season.
Hmm.
The closest we would see to that happening is that they'd hold on to him until the deadline, just to see what other teams may be having any kind of interest. That Beal himself would also say, okay, well, that team's looking pretty good. I'd like to go there. That's the extent of it. There's no way he plays a full season. There's no way he's there past the trade deadline at the absolute latest. More than likely, he'll be gone in the coming weeks. But Phoenix over Miami, I don't see that. I mean, there are some other teams that maybe it'd work out for them better than Miami, but let's just say, for the sake of argument here, that day one of free agency, Chris Middleton bails on Milwaukee. Suddenly, even though Milwaukee wouldn't have a ton to trade for Beal, uh, Beal replacing Chris Middleton suddenly seems like a pretty good move for Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they got some firsts, I think they could make it happen because like Beal is a sunk cost for Washington. Like they
Yeah.
had basically as healthy a season as they're going to get from their big three, and they still missed the playoffs. Like that big three is not fucking going anywhere.
Not only that, but the real big reason why they're wanting to uh, blow it up right now is because they recently had a huge shakeup in their front office. They got a lot of new folks in there, and it's almost tradition.
Mm-hmm.
You move in a different direction with the franchise, especially when there's nothing there to think that. Oh, you sack of fucking dog shit.
And Mike Ford, just hit it out, get this game over with, and don't tire our bullpen. That would be great. I would really appreciate that.
Sorry. Anyway. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. There's just no way. Like the minute they bailed on the John Wall experiment, it was over.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think Kuzma's a free agent, so they're definitely going to lose him. So they may as well blow up the rest of it.
Right.
Kuzma was good last year, by the way. He scored 20 points a
And
game.
if I remember right, the last guy in their little attempt to make the playoffs was Porzingis, right?
Yeah, poo snaps, poo poo
Now,
poo.
that's what's funny is because I've seen a lot of people talking on the Heat subreddit. They've actually been saying that if a deal with Washington is made, Porzingis may actually be a more valuable acquisition than Beal, which it's I feel pretty neutral regarding the whole thing because I'm I I just don't really have a whole lot of faith in Beal, but Porzingis, people saying they want him. I'm like that. It's kind of an overreaction to what we just had with the Denver series. First of all, it's tough for Porzingis to stay healthy, but if he is there, no, everyone's sitting there saying, well, it takes a lot of the pressure away from Bam having to defend the interior, and Bam has a much easier time, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if that's the best fit. Plus, of course, who we'd have to give up in order to get Porzingis.
Like
There's always
Porzingis,
the
though, always had a thing for him.
right, and it's always the question: what do you got to give up in order to get this guy in the trade? But what's killing me is I'm like, this was a really good squad that we put together, and the reason that it fucking fell apart is because it was in the finals against the best team in basketball. And I definitely agree that we need something more in order to beat Denver. But a lot of these proposals and a lot of the potential, I don't like the idea of the direction our team would head in. I think we'd have to give up too much and all sorts of other kinds of things.
Yeah, you could give up two 16-year-olds like you did for Iguodala.
Yeah. I, you know, it, it's funny because again on the Heat subreddit, a lot of people are very against Kyrie, and what they're basing this off of is again because it's Reddit users. They're all screechy about him saying that the Doom juice isn't the coolest thing in the world. But I actually I'm like, if we could keep most of the same roster together, and if we only had to give up Lowry, and in exchange we could get Kyrie and reunite Kyrie and Love, I'm like, that to me right there, that's the fucking ideal. I'd love to see that. I really would.
So the Heat subreddit hasn't shut down?
No. In fact, a lot of the ones that have shut down have come back because, duh. I don't even know what the hell they're bitching about.
The last week or so, I've gotten followed by several people on Reddit, and I haven't posted in about 3 months at all. So I don't know why people are suddenly following me. So I wonder if there's some kind of correlation here. Wonder if it's a bunch of porn bots. Like, I don't know.
Good question. Bless you. For my part, I have no earthly idea.
Kind of weird. I've been here before. I can't remember.
Well, yeah, there is something that I really want to talk to you about. It's not for stream specifically. Could you might mute my mic so I could
Oh,
say?
okay. Hold on. Okay, sure. Go ahead. Doesn't look like you are. The that feed's muted. Hmm. 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 Yeah, I hear you. I mean, you know how I feel about the whole thing lately, right? Right. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it at this point. Okay, I hate these fucking skeletons. God damn it, France! What are you swinging at? What are you playing fucking golf? Jesus Christ, pissing me off. Yeah. Oh, they're not going to give me a save point before this boss, really? I'm assuming it's a boss. All right. Yep. Oh, it's a Crucible Knight. Decent damage to him. I can say that. Oh, I can summon an Ash Summon. Yes. That'll help at least a little bit. Oh, did you see that video I sent you? That was like the BioShock Burger King guy mashup thing. Loved it. This is going to be brutal. Yeah, I saw that. You're not going to like what you see. Yes. Almost certainly. Is it interesting that a bunch of Pride events got canceled when they realized they couldn't invite any kids? Does that activate the almonds? Anyway, can I unmute you now? Yeah. Al, Jesus Christ, that pitch is in the fucking dirt. What is wrong with you? Jesus Christ. That pitch is in the fucking dirt. Had enough of this.
Oh. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. So the protest went down and everything, but the honoring occurred in an empty stadium an hour before the game was even supposed to start, like an hour before they even began warm-ups. And they did it just real quick in front of the dugout, which again is empty. The small little news crew, there's like a fucking half dozen people there. Stadium's completely empty. Just wow.
Yeah, I saw that too.
What an utter waste of time.
This team is so focused on venerating sin that they can't get runners in from scoring position. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I know you were talking about it earlier or yesterday, and I think it deserves reiterating. Like, the Ja Morant thing seems a little weird. It does. I think a big reason why it happened this way was because he did it once, and then they gave him a light punishment, and then he did it again, so now they're just like, you know what? Fuck you. I don't know if that makes it okay, but that's probably why it's playing out this way. If I had to guess.
Yeah, maybe.
It's kind of weird that he gets suspended for as long as Jermaine O'Neal did. Actually, longer than Jermaine O'Neal did for trying to kill a guy. Admittedly, I don't get that.
And right, and that's what I was talking about. Is I'm all like, fucking The longest suspensions for the Malice was Artest in first, Steven Jackson second, and then Jermaine O'Neal third. John Morant still almost got as much as Steven Jackson. Just 5 games less. John Morant 25, Steven Jackson 30. Like, what the hell? And to see amidst all of this that Ime Udoka, or whatever the fuck his name is, got banned from more games for having sex with a woman than dudes that committed domestic violence, dudes who broke the wellness policy, dudes who two out of the 3 guys that got suspended for the Malice. Like, lots of horrifying shit in the whole grand scheme of things, man. Goddamn.
If Ime Udoka had had sex with a man, would he have not gotten fired?
Almost certainly that would be the case, yes. Miami Heat are trying to get the Bradley Beal trade done without including Tyler Hero per Anthony Chang. I think that's why. I think that right there is why they're talking about the Phoenix. Because the Wizards are the ones saying that. Because they're trying to put pressure on Miami that they have another potential suitor so that they can get Hero.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously Hero's an incredibly sought after part of the team in terms of who we're willing to part with. I don't really care that much because this postseason run proved we definitely don't need him. However, I think that getting rid of him for something that's not like, if we can compete for 5 or 6 years before we need to reload, I think it's worth giving him up. But I feel like with Beal, we'll probably only be able to compete for like 2.
You're just hoping he has the one magical year where he can stay healthy, because he has the knees of a 60-year-old grandpa.
Exactly. So I'm like, that's really short-sighted to get rid of Hero in that situation. But if we can get Beal and keep Hero, because when it comes right down to it, the only people I want to stay on the roster for the next season, like absolutely cannot get rid of them, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Kevin Love. That's it. And the reason I say Kevin Love is because even though a lot of other Heat fans don't agree with me, Kevin Love is incredible off the bench.
Yeah, and he's great to have around. Why would you not want that guy?
Exactly. Like, he's really good at a lot of different things, and the most important thing is that in Miami he has the ability to do all the things that he's good at that he wasn't able to do when he played with LeBron. You know, he can focus on getting rebounds, he can focus on creating his own shot instead of just catch and shoot, he can focus on outlet passes. You know, these are things he didn't have the opportunity to do because LeBron was busy stat padding his rebounds. And, you know, he couldn't create his own shot because he had to just catch and shoot, because if the ball wasn't in LeBron's hands, it was in Kyrie's. If it wasn't in Kyrie's hands, it was LeBron's. It's like a non-stop shit show. And he's so fucking good that if it weren't for the fact that he's aged to the point where he can't play heavy minutes, he would still be an all-star caliber player for a starting team somewhere else. If he just had LeBron's stamina and like longevity. But him playing like 20 minutes a game off the bench is perfect. He's fucking incredible. To the point where I don't think anybody, especially at the price that we're paying for Kevin Love, I don't really think there's anybody in the league that could do more for us in that position for that kind of bargain. And then obviously Jimmy and Bam go without saying. Everybody else, if the price is right, fucking let him go. I don't care. And that's just the hang up I have with the Hero Beal potential swap is I'm like, fucking, it's really short sighted. I don't think that's a good return.
Yeah, I'd say you probably want to keep Caleb Martin too because he's really cheap. I know he doesn't
Yeah,
show up
there's
every game, but I mean, for that price, you don't need him to show up every game.
when it comes, like, I mean, obviously this is greedy. I mean, aside from the fact that it's not possible, I know that this is greedy to say this, but I love this team that we made a run with, and I love this team that we've had together for, you know, the ones that the team core that we've been building around since the last time we made the finals in 2020. I
Fucking
love,
damn it.
man, that sucks. I love this squad. So like I would prefer it if we didn't get rid of fucking anybody. You know? If there was a way that we could in free agency sign somebody with the caliber of talent of, you know, the guys everyone's talking about, us getting like Kyrie and Beal, but like not have to give up anybody to do it, I'd be like, that's perfect, do that. That's the thing. That's what we gotta do.
Well, Kyrie's
Do
a
that.
free agent, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's gonna ask for way too much money. There's no way we fucking tell him, hey Kyrie, come here for the minimum.
Mhm.
Wait, I'm checking his exact contract thing now. Yes, he had a player option for this season, which he exercised. He's an unrestricted free agent. But there's no chance in hell he's gonna take like a tiny little fucking. I think we'd have to take him for 15 million or less in order to make it work or something like that, and that's asking him to take almost 1/3 of his current size. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my god. Wait.
Oh, this is really funny. Beals put a wrench in the works because the Wizards are telling him, in order to trade you, what we want from Miami in terms of the returning assets, we really want Tyler Hero. Beal's like, the whole reason I want to go to Miami is to be able to play with the guys that are there, which include Tyler Hero. He's like, I want to play with Jimmy, I want to play with Bam, and I want to play with Hero. Like, you can't. If you trade me for Hero, I'm gonna exercise my no trade clause. Like,
Whoever
so,
gave fucking Bradley Beal a no trade clause in his contract should be like permanently barred from ever working in the NBA again. Like, he's not that good. Like, why are you giving him a no trade clause like he's Kevin Garnett or something?
I'm pretty sure Pat Riley would fucking kiss him on the mouth if he had the chance. What a fucking legend. It's just so funny to me, man. Like, That's perfect. Oh man. What's crazy to me is, like, you think that's bad, the no trade clause? Beal signed a 5-year, $251 million contract.
Oh yeah,
What the
it was fucking ridiculous
fuck?
at the time, of course, but I guess Washington was just like, you know, we're such a pathetic organization with no success recently. We just gotta do something to keep our even a half decent player.
That's insane. Fucking, oh my gentle Christ. The final year of his contract is a player option. If exercised, $57 million.
Hmm.
That's pants on head retarded.
Oh.
See, you got to think back. $57 million. Back in the day, $57 million was a contract where you'd be like, damn, that's a hell of a lot of money. Somebody like fucking, like, Jordan, practically. Jesus Christ. Jordan. See what they're paying him. That's fucking retarded. Oh my god. Bro, Jordan was like the highest paid player in the league, and he was making $4 million a season.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Bradley Beal making $57 million a year. What the fuck? Holy shit. Because, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that Bradley Beal is a bad player when he's on the court, which is rare enough, which is a big problem with him. But when he's on the court, he's definitely good. But, like, not that good.
Hmm. There's no
Holy
way he's
fuck.
worth that. Yeah, it's not even.
Like, right, I hear that kind of money, I'm thinking of first ballot Hall of Fame, not Bradley Beal. Like, Bradley Beal's an all-star caliber player, fringe all-NBA if the stars align, and a guy who might make the Hall of Fame? Let me check his career stats. He's a 3-time All-Star, and the last time he was an All-Star was in 2021. Ugh. Which is also his only All-NBA selection. He was third team in 2021. And that is it. I'm going to look at his career stats. Alright. That's not really where you'd want him to be at. Good lord. Yeah, I don't think he's making the Hall with these numbers.
Yeah. They make it pretty easy to get into Hall these days, though.
Like, he might, because he's at 50. He's at 15,000 points, 3,000 assists, 3,000 rebounds now. So, like, if he continued putting up this kind of production, but it's just how little he plays. It's like, good on him in 2018 and 2019. He played every game. 82 games in both of those seasons. Good for him. But since, the most he's played is 60 games. 2021 he played 60. And due to the new rules thing, even though that was his absolute peak season, which was crazy,
Hmm.
he was only third team All NBA, and he wouldn't even fucking qualify under the new rules because he didn't play enough games. It's 60 games in his peak season. And then 2022 last year, 40 games, less than half the season. This season, 50 games, barely over half the season.
All right. Yeah. Well, looks like there's nobody around here to summon. I used the finger, and there's nothing here.
Oh man, this guy is dreaming. I totally agree with this though. The deal being discussed that the Heat want to get out, obviously picks, but it looks like Lowry, either Robinson or Oladipo, and then either Jovic or Highsmith. And I'm like, fuck yeah,
Yeah, Oladipo's got a
perfect.
player option too. I mean, he's basically a walking cap figure at this point.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody out there is thinking like, oh, that Oladipo, he's going to bounce back and be a good player now.
exactly. So I'm sitting there like, dude, fuck it, just let him go. Um, what? And this is why I said people are absolutely dreaming is that with Beal wanting to play with Hero and the Heat, trying to hold on to Hero for the trade and everything. This guy, he comes out here and he says that means that the Heat could trade Hero, Martin, and then some more first-round picks, or whatever kind of picks in order to make the shit work, for a Damian Lillard trade. To then have absolutely no depth to our team whatsoever, but have a starting lineup of Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, Jimmy Butler, probably Kevin Love still, and Bam Adebayo.
Mm.
And
That'd
I'm
be
like, no,
fun.
it's not the worst thing in the world, but
Yeah, it
I
is
don't know.
sounding. Yeah, it's the hot rumor right now is that Portland just kind of wants to roll it forward with Dame, though. Which, I mean, this is why it's so important to have good ownership because you know the reason why they want to keep Dame is they want to keep selling tickets rather than blow it up. Like if you had a good owner who would just be like, "Yeah, do whatever makes basketball sense," you know they'd blow it up. But all right, JP. Yeah, there's nobody to summon around here.
However, a lot of people are talking about this. Hero's such a good trade piece that they're like, this would be perfect because then we can get Beal without Hero and then trade Hero. And I'm all like, didn't Beal make it clear he wanted to play with Hero? Wouldn't he be mad if we did that?
Mm. Maybe he doesn't want to play with Hero. He just wants to play with a good team that he feels like could win a title. So if they got Lillard, he would be like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, because that's, people are saying a trade Hero for Siakam.
Yeah. Siakam's pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm like, that, yeah, in that sense, it's like, hey, Beal, the team's much better. What do you think?
Oh, motherfucker. Dude, this game was fucking cocksucker motherfucker. Jesus Christ, dude. Fucking disgusting. Go ahead.
Oh, this is a good one. What if the Heat traded Hero for Joel Embiid? Oh, that's oof, oof. Wow, that's incredible. This guy took every single trending topic. You see it's in parentheses here. It says Beal, Tana, Aiton, Optic, Fetterman, Sweet Creature, Sains, Hero, Ghosty Albin, Matt Olson, David Freese, CB Buckner, Dashi Senga, Father's Day, Hugh Kurt Schilling, all in parentheses, just so he could say God created this world, human beings in paradise for love, and then he threw that that's a Muslim preacher, and imam is giving pretty funny anyway. It's a lot of people looking at it. That's why I bring it up. It's pretty funny. Looks like it's being discussed. What the Heat want to trade for Beal is Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, pick number 18 for Beal. Now, what the Wizards want is Robinson, the 18th pick, Hero. All the arguing is just whether it's Hero or Lowry.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. Big country. I'm goddamn.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Miami's the only team that is seriously contending to get Bradley Beal here, and any other team that even gets mentioned is just the Wizards desperately trying to. They're literally trying to scare Pat Riley.
Yeah,
They're
it's
literally trying to pressure Pat fucking Riley.
yeah,
I
it's like I would be curious. What would Phoenix even consider trading? They have no picks. They traded all their picks for Durant. Like if I looked at their
I
books, I'll bet I couldn't find anything even remotely worth trading except for Aiton. And I think we all know
right.
that Aiton is just kind of a whatever player at this point.
Right. All their picks and all their depth. There's no way that Washington would sit there and say we actually want Aiden because like they can get a much better haul for Beal from basically any other team that they talk to, let alone Miami. So when you look at it, it's like the only fucking things Phoenix could realistically give up that would be worth it for Washington in this deal would be someone that they have no intention of letting go, like Devin Booker. Like
Where does that leave you?
exactly. So it's like, what the hell? You're just gonna fucking downgrade? There's no point. So what a mess.
Yeah, that whoever I can't remember who the last GM for the Wizards was, but he was really bad at his fucking job. And
Billy
goddamn,
King.
may
Oh,
as
dude, could you
well.
imagine? Could you fucking imagine?
Billy King was amazing. Like, how do you do like? How do you keep getting
Right.
hired when you keep doing that shit?
Yeah, this is what I'm fucking talking about right here. Like, this guy's like, am I tripping for thinking Beal isn't that much better than Hero? And a lot of people are arguing with him and everything. It's like this. It's not even about if Beal is a better player than Hero. It's a question of does Beal take the heat minus Hero and put them over the edge? You know, like if Beal was on this team in the Denver series, would Miami have won? You're not really sure about that. It's hard to say definitively, and even if he lasted that long, which is a question of itself because he gets fucking hurt all the time. So on the one hand, you got that, and on the other hand, Tyler Hero's 23. Beal, I think, is on the wrong side of 30. He will be soon. He's 29, but his birthday's in 11 days.
Oh, well,
So he
happy
will be
birthday.
30 next season. Yeah. Yeah, seriously. He'll be 30 next season. So do you take your guard who won 6th man of the year and is only 23 and trade him for a 30-year-old guard who's making $57 million a year when you're not even sure that that move alone would get you over the hump? Amen.
Absolutely disgusting.
Because, see, for my part, I'm sitting here like, now, if we were having this exact same conversation, but it was about Kyrie Irving, I'd say, hell yeah, pull the trigger. Because Kyrie's proven himself. You know? Kyrie doesn't have the same injury issues. Kyrie is a proven champion. He hits big shots, and he's literally everything you want. Like, it would take so much pressure off of Jimmy to have another guy who could be the primary ball handler.
Imagine if Kyrie Irving went back to like the 1950s and showed how he was dribbling.
On the Kentucky Wildcats.
Yes, exactly.
um, in all seriousness, and this has been a problem ever since Allen Iverson. In all seriousness, the vast majority of fancy dribble moves that people like Kyrie Irving use nowadays would be considered carrying the ball back then. The guy would constantly get whistled. Like, it literally took Allen Iverson becoming an international sensation to get the refs to stop calling the carry. And that was part of what Donaghy talked about when he was talking about the ways that refs can manipulate games. Is he was all like, if a player's not respecting you properly, and you just call them on the things that they like to do that you let slide normally. Like Kevin Garnett, almost every pick that Kevin Garnett ever set was a moving screen. You could tell when he made the refs mad because they finally call him for a moving screen. And it was the same with Allen Iverson, is that if you made the refs mad, they start calling him for a carry.
Makes sense.
And if it hadn't have been for Allen Iverson becoming an international sensation like that, the hesitation wouldn't exist as a move. It's like, by definition, a carry, practically. It's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing though. Like, at the end of the day, the NBA and all sports are supposed to be entertainment, right? And while there should be some limitations on it, ultimately, the NBA should be trying to do things to make the game as entertaining as possible for people who watch. That should be like the main priority. So
Yeah.
I'm not against them allowing things like carrying,
Right.
given what it's allowed the game to become. Like, that's why I always felt like they should have done something to get rid of Hack-a-Shack.
Yeah.
Like, that's
No,
fucking stupid.
right. I completely agree with you. There's a diverging set of incentives. For the league, their incentive is that people watch the games because that's how they make money. For the teams, their incentive is to abuse anything that they're able to abuse to win games because they want to win because that's how they make money. So when Greg Popovich hacked the absolute shit out of Phoenix Shaq to win the series, the playoff series that they played against each other that year, um, that was just good basketball. That was the right move. Completely wonderful. However, what Greg Popovich did by doing that is rob every NBA fan who was watching the playoffs from what could have been one of the most spectacular playoff series we ever got the chance to witness.
Yeah.
He stole that from us by playing that nauseating shit. And it's equally Shaq's fault because, for Christ's sake, just make the fucking free throws. But it literally made it worse to watch as a fan. What could have been an all-time great playoff series.
Yeah, the thing
So
was, when Wilt was playing, they actually had a rule to prevent him from just getting hacked without the ball all the time. They should have brought that back for like Shaq and Ben Wallace and players like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that same issue even got addressed when Ben Simmons started getting hacked off ball.
Hmm.
Because like teams were doing that shit because they're like, wow, this guy's getting fucking hacked off ball. Like literally, they wouldn't even defend the actual movement of the ball itself. They would just send someone to run at Ben Simmons and hug him.
Hmm. I remember
And it's
that.
like, how is that basketball? How is that enjoyable for anyone to watch? So yeah, you're absolutely correct about the dribble moves and everything going on there. But I'm certainly not making the purest argument like Allen Iverson should have been punished, and I can't believe they do dribble moves and blah blah blah. But if you went back to the '50s, that's exactly what people would say. But yeah, it's a dangerous balance there because you're right. You got to do what's right for the fans to be interested. But if you go too far, then you actually, ruin things in the other direction. Like I think baseball's got a big problem with that now. Is that they made offenses so strong and potent because of all the different rule changes, to where what they want to see is people hitting the big home run because dingers, chicks dig the long ball. Dingers are what people tune in for. But it's made it so hard for pitching that now you have this huge crisis of pitchers cheating because they have to do fucking anything they possibly can to be able to deal with the fact that it's insanely easy for hitters to fucking hit the ball and hit home runs right now.
Right.
And then this also happens to coincide with an era where we have some extraordinary pitching talent, some of the best we've ever had in the history of Major League Baseball, and yet we don't get to watch them have these amazing, legendary, all-time level seasons and series because in order to make the game more watchable and entertaining for fans, they ruin the ability for the pitchers to be able to have that amazing performance. Delicate dance.
Let's try this boss again.
I just wish Shaq would add the guts to work with Rick Barry. Anyway, I'll be right back.
And I do barely any fucking damage to him. Okay, it looks like I'm under-leveled for this too. Man, I don't know what to do. Like, everywhere I go, I'm running into a thing that is just like, I can't fucking do it. Wait a minute, what is this? Oh. I didn't know I could actually go that way. Uh, Maybe that's where I should go. Oh yeah, the dancers. Oh. Oh, I think I fought this guy before, or somebody similar. This guy isn't nearly as, like, good, but I think it's the same structure. There we go. Alright, let's try to grind this level out.
Alright, I'm back.
The Shakia from Wallachia.
Basically.
So, unironically, with no memes, if the fall of Constantinople had never happened, how do you think modern day would be different?
Things would things would be very different because if you're saying that it absolutely never happened, then there were centuries upon centuries of the Ottoman Empire being expanding throughout all of Christendom and such like that. Now you're talking about if Constantinople never fell and remained in the hands of the Byzantines, even if it was like, even if it was just that one city holding on, it's a bastion, fortress city of Christianity against the tide of Islam. Things would be radically different. Ottoman expansionism wouldn't have been able to go through to the same level and extent that it did. And there'd be a lot less Muslims in the world because of the amount of converting by force that they did. Things would just be very, very different.
I was watching a video. An actual high school history teacher was reacting to the LeBron James Constantinople video. And he was talking about how the fall of Constantinople led basically to the Age of Discovery because it forced Europe to try to find another trade route through what was formerly Constantinople.
That's a good point, and reminds me of another thing too. There were a lot of Byzantine scholars who moved west after the fall of Constantinople because while the sack of the city itself was merciless and many, many crimes against humanity were committed, after the initial horror of the sack, when the Sultan was able to regain control over his forces, he tried his absolute best to be benevolent towards the conquered Christians and gave them a chance. He said, if you don't want to be Ottoman citizens, Turkish citizens, you just go ahead and go. So there was a mass exodus, a brain drain of that region that all headed west. And because they all spoke Greek because they were Greeks. Where a lot of them went is the most learned parts of Western Europe itself, because that would be the regions that also spoke Greek, which is by and large Italy. So, in a very real sense, that brain drain after the fall of Constantinople and all the Byzantine scholars moving west contributed heavily to the Renaissance.
Right.
Now, if Constantinople never fell, it's not to say that something similar to the Renaissance never would have happened. It's just a lot of the famous advances in culture and scientific and technological understanding would have been happening in another part of the world.
But what this guy basically said is that the fall of Constantinople led to the discovery of America, in effect. So I don't know if that
And that
implies that if it didn't happen, then America never would have been discovered. But
well, there was always a great deal of desire to explore, and there were already legends of America in other parts of the world, in Scandinavia especially, because the Vikings, Leif Erikson and all them, had already discovered the New World by centuries previous. But that kind of insight and knowledge wasn't exactly well known and highly spoken of in places like Spain, where the crews of Columbus's ship would be gathered, because Christopher Columbus, even though he was an Italian explorer, he desired to go exploring west. And it's exactly like you're talking about. He was trying to find a new trade route, because the Silk Road and the spice trade was all in and around Southeast Asia. So we're talking modern day Indonesia, of course India, and places like that. China, especially for the silk. Those areas I mentioned before, Indonesia and India, with a lot of the spices. It was a highly, highly, highly profitable trading. And the Silk Road is the name that was given to the trade route that was established traveling overland. And when the Ottoman Empire, that was a major contributor to the Ottoman Empire becoming so powerful in the first place, is because they had the ability to access that trade route. They had the ability to tax it, they had the ability to oversee it, to construct caravans, and so on and so forth. And what the Ottoman Empire did specifically, and would have created the need for another trade route like you're talking about, is that they would have levied significant taxes against the dhimmi, which is the word for non-Muslims. So if you were a European trader and you wanted to get involved in the Silk Road trade, with the Byzantines in charge of the Silk Road, you don't get taxed extra for not being a Muslim. With the Ottomans in charge of it, you do get taxed extra for being Muslim. So all of a sudden you're having to pay such extraordinary, exorbitant fees and taxes and so many other things going on, that even though you're trading in some of the most profitable and lucrative goods in the known world, even turning a profit, because most of that is just putting money into the hands, into the pockets of the Sultan. So that's
hashtag
when they
not my
said,
sultan.
yeah, seriously. So at this point, now you've got all these rich European traders who are thinking, you know what, fuck with this. We could make so much money and become so fucking rich. All we'd have to do is just go around. And it's no surprise that these particular merchants in Europe, who wanted to find an alternative route and had an extraordinary desire to to succeed in this regard and this desire, these merchants were quite happy. If you know what I mean. In fact, some of them would go on to form. You remember that game I play, Evil Banking Simulator?
Yeah.
And the memes and jokes I made there. Well, that's based around the entire concept of like a lot of different of the most powerful families in the world, who got started up during that time period in history, forming a bank and getting up to all kinds of crazy shenanigans. So that's when they say if we can find a way around, we'll be able to make a lot of money. And there was a way around that had already been known about, which is an extremely long way around, which is sailing from Europe, going out through past Iberia, down the coast of Africa, all the way down around the coast of Africa, down past, I think it's Cape Horn or the Cape of Good Hope, or some kind of cape, the southern tip of the African continent, and then around through the other way. Then past Madagascar, and then from there up into India and the Spice Islands and everything, just like that. So the way that Christopher Columbus got his voyage approved is because Christopher Columbus theorized, based off of the whole concept of the flat earth theory and all this people believed, and he said, you know what, I don't think the earth is flat. I think if you just keep going west, you'll sail right around and hit India from that way. So he thought, this way we can dodge all the trading posts that the Dutch own instead, so we don't need to pay taxes and import fees from them. The first people to claim that land would be able to get a great deal of money in that regard, and set up our own trading post in India from there. Famously, obviously, he didn't hit India. He instead hit North America, and that's why the Caribbean is also sometimes referred to as the West Indies, because he thought that it was India. It's why Native Americans are also referred to as Indians. Not as much anymore. It's considered offensive, because they were called Indians at first because fucking Columbus thought he was in India. He thought they were Indians. So, in essence, yes, what that guy is saying is true. In a very roundabout way, however, still in the sense of, the butterfly effect and all that kind of shit. The fall of Constantinople did contribute heavily to the discovery of America insofar as the way that it was discovered, because finding an alternative trade route became a matter of extraordinary importance for financial concerns, because your choice was either to levy, or rather, to have them levy a shitload of taxes and fees against you for not being Muslim, going through the Silk Road, or to take the extraordinarily long voyage around Africa. That being said, the extremely long voyage around Africa was still used for a very long period of time, many centuries, and is one of the biggest reasons why the British Empire expanded in the extent that it did, to the lands that they did, because they colonized different places that would be used as resupply areas between the voyage from the United Kingdom to India. So all the African colonies, South Africa, I think Kenya was one of them. Of course, the land that would become Rhodesia, and various West African countries, and so on. When you look at the land that the British Empire actually controlled in Africa, that was why. And as a matter of fact, when the Suez Canal was constructed, it actually caused an extraordinary financial crisis for a number of years in the United Kingdom, and the reason was because it was a shortcut. Because the Suez Canal over in the Red Sea in Egypt, you would just go through the canal, so from the Mediterranean through the canal into the Red Sea, and then you come out, and you're now in the Gulf of Aden and the Arabian Sea. And from there, it's a very short voyage to get to India, just heading east. And you dodge thousands and thousands of miles of travel going that way instead of having to go around Africa. And the reason it created a huge economic crisis for a number of years after its construction is because a great deal of the economy, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of jobs, and this is back at a time when hundreds of thousands is the same equivalent to saying millions now in terms of the population. Hundreds of thousands of jobs and a great deal of time and resources and investment, all this was dedicated specifically to those trading posts throughout Africa to refill and refuel recovery for the various ships that were making the voyage around Africa. They basically became useless overnight. So, in much the same way that automation has destroyed jobs that used to exist but no longer do now, that was basically the automation of the 19th century. When the Suez Canal was constructed, all of a sudden all these different posts that were there to refuel ships using coal-fired boilers, they just had stockpiles of coal to give to the ships, food, including the various citrus-based fruits that they'd need for making sure nobody got scurvy and things like that. All those jobs became useless overnight. And suddenly it went from being like as busy as like a massive gas station with like almost 100 different pumps at the station, because it's like a huge truck stop refueling depot, to all of a sudden, it's like a gas station in the middle of fucking nowhere that might get one customer a day. Like.
Right.
And now you've also got all the rich people suffering too because of the amount of money that they had investing in those trading posts, and it caused a huge financial crisis for years until things managed to adjust, because it took that much time for people who had jobs over there to go back to England and get a job doing something else. More than likely work in a factory. Yeah, lots of things would be very different.
Would you call it the most important event in history?
No, the most important event in history is the birth of Jesus Christ. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Second most important, which is more along the lines of the question you were actually asking. I would want to say the crowning of Charlemagne by the Pope. Because after the fall of the Western Roman Empire, the Europe was in complete chaos for a number of years. But when Charlemagne was crowned by the Pope, it was the closest thing to an actual authority that still existed in Western Europe, being recognized as the super king throughout all this area. And the Frankish Empire that Charlemagne would conquer and create would go on to become the Holy Roman Empire, which all of this, it basically ended what people describe as the Dark Ages. In the immediate aftermath of the fall of the Western Roman Empire, It basically ended that time period and reestablished the continuity and stability of civilization and continued technological advancement and moving forward for society and civilization. Plus,
Yeah.
he was fucking cool. I love Charlemagne. He's one of my favorite historical figures. And more than anything else, in terms of its importance, is that the Holy Roman Empire would exist as a concept for over 1100 years after that point and would be an extremely crucial component of European politics for over 1,000 years from that point on. Because Charlemagne creates this thing in the 700s and it finally is destroyed um, essentially by Napoleon in the early 1800s. No other concept of a society has lasted even a fraction of that time period. Like, it's fucking bonkers.
Hey, Marsh, how you doing? I get down. Snacks is on the call. Snacks is here. I'm probably not going to be here much longer, though. I got to eat dinner, but later tonight I'll be back trying to figure out what to do
Uh,
in Elden Ring.
I think maybe he's asking in terms of like he thought I might be playing with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't play Souls type games, guys.
mhm.
But
Uh,
oh, are you actually living now?
no, not yet. I'm just trying to figure out where the hell to go. Let's see here. I'm not sure exactly, Marsh. I mean, there's nothing on TV tonight, so I might just get right back on. It's possible. No more sports. Only sport on right now is baseball.
I miss basketball already.
Oh yeah, so that picture I just sent you on Discord, I drive by that building quite often, and I was finally able to get a picture of it.
Oh, I thought that was just something you grabbed from Google.
Oh no, I actually drive by that building all the time.
All right, pretty amusing. Well, then I guess it's good that I didn't say anything about it then, because I mean I'm reasonably sure that your viewers have like some general idea of where you're located at, but like that kind of thing would be just a little bit more specific than I think
Right.
you want to have mentioned. So I'm glad I didn't say anything. Um,
The interesting
obvious,
thing I see there.
obvious. Wait,
Go ahead.
obviously, that's just a fantastic coincidence, right? That's not like.
I would think so. The thing is, the B is not capitalized like it is. So I don't know. I don't know if there's like a rule that states
Wait.
whether or not the B is capitalized.
See, now you've got me here. Good. All this time, I didn't know. All this time, I didn't know. Wow. How about that? Wait, Dwayne Wade's trending. Oh no, what happened? Oh, it's just because it's Pride Month and his kid. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Ugh, God. I'll never forgive Abby for what she did. My best guess on a Suns trade for Bradley Beal coming from Greg Feinberg. Uh-oh. Anyway.
4 first-round picks? That's too many. What are you really going to do with 3 first-round picks?
Yeah,
You really
seriously.
want me to part with 2 first-round picks? The best I can do is 1 first-round pick, okay?
Alright, fine, I'll give you your first round pick. Split it with your brother. My best guess on a Suns trade for Bradley Beal. Suns get Bradley Beal and Monte Morris. Wizards get, wow, this guy's dreaming. DeAndre Ayton, Campaign, Landry Shamet, pick 52, 2024 second round pick, 2025 second round pick. Reminder, Phoenix has no tradable first round picks until 2031. Thanks to the Stepien rule, they can't trade a first round pick until 2031. The fact that Miami actually has the ability to trade first round picks before then would automatically make them a front runner ahead of Phoenix.
You think Phoenix is just hoping the league forgets to write down which picks they have to give up in those trades? And like when they get to the years, they're like, we forgot.
Wow,
Like it's so far in
that
the future.
that is astonishingly short-sighted. Like obviously, look, Kevin Durant's actually one of the kinds of talents that you would give up that kind of shit for. You know? But that's still a hell of a lot. Because if the Suns don't win a championship, this is automatically not worth it. Trading away 8 years of your future. Now, as a Heat fan, I can say that without sounding like a hypocrite because Pat Riley's a completely different beast when it comes to this kind of thing. But somebody like the Phoenix Suns, an incompetently run franchise of mongoloids, that is a horrifyingly bad decision on their part. 8 years until they have a first round pick that they can trade again.
Did you know that when Ted Stepien sold the Cavaliers, they gave the Cavaliers 4 first-round picks over the next 4 years out of pity? Because
I
he had
didn't.
traded away all their picks, and they were just like, you know what? In order to entice a new owner, in order to like thank you for buying it from that idiot, we're gonna give you 4 first-round picks just because.
Eh. That's some basketball reason shit right there. I did not know that. That's pretty crazy. What's even crazier is that didn't mean shit for him. Gosh, that is bonkers.
Yeah, they didn't even get named. They didn't. The city didn't even get named the Istam Cleveland Cavaliers.
But instead, Istanbul's
I love the
fucking the
pretentious narration.
yeah. The picture he used, the Photoshop with Jordan wearing a fucking Sultan's turban, that shit was amazing.
Yeah. A decision that LeBron has criticized as being uneducated.
DeAndre Ayton and Johnny Davis on the 16-win, 66-loss 2024 Wizards, and he's using the Shikobi fucking highlight reel. People fucking. Good God. Yeah, I think he's pretty on the ball here by saying this. No trade clauses. While players may love them, it's going to be really difficult to imagine um, them actually handing out a fucking deal with a no trade clause in the future, because specifically because of this Bradley Beal situation. Because as this guy put it, Beal is using his no trade clause to force Washington to not get the best available asset back to keep the team better that he wants to be traded to. From the player's perspective, but from the team's perspective, you intentionally want us to not get the best deal we can so that you can end up on the best team you can and have the best chance for you to win a championship while we have to rebuild and we don't even get a good return.
Yeah, no trade clauses should be reserved for like LeBron and fucking Giannis, guys
Okay,
like
okay,
that.
I've got it. When you go to sign your contract, I think this is fair and this is something everybody can agree with, and guys would like really fucking fight each other for this. If you were named to an all NBA team the same year you go to sign your contract, so like how Kyrie's an unrestricted free agent this season, if he was on an all NBA team in the 2023 season we just played, then he's allowed to have a no trade clause if he wants one in his contract. But if he, let's just say, because I honestly don't know who made the All NBA teams this year, let's just say Kyrie didn't make an All NBA team,
Yeah.
then even if he came in somehow third place in MVP voting, they'd say, okay, you sit your ass down, you're not getting a no trade clause. If you're not part of the top 15, then no, you don't get one.
Yeah, something like that.
Which makes sense, because when it comes down to it, not only would those guys not ever get traded, but somebody like LeBron wouldn't want a no trade clause in the first place. Because all he does is sign a deal for like 1 or 2 seasons, because he's all like, if I'll play the season out, I don't want to get traded. I'll play the season out. And if it's not looking good, then I'll just bail.
Right. That is one thing, though, I feel like he messed up because last year he signed the 2-year extension with the Lakers when they had just, I think, lost in the first. No, last year they didn't even make the playoffs. And then he signed the 2-year extension. I was like, don't you want to keep your options open? I was surprised he did that.
As if that isn't enough, like, obviously, historically, everyone's going to remember what happened for the Lakers this season. They're only going to be able to see that in the vacuum of, oh, hey, they made the Western Conference Finals. But they only had that amazing turnaround after trading Westbrook. They were one of the best teams in the league after the after the trade deadline. If it hadn't have been for them trading Westbrook, if they just said fuck it and actually kept him on the team the whole year, they'd have missed the playoffs. They wouldn't have made the play-in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they got lucky as hell to make the Western Conference Finals in the first place,
The
which
West
is
was
why they
messed
got,
up, yeah.
yeah, they got lucky as hell. It never should have been Phoenix versus Denver in the second round. That was very unfortunate. But they would have lost to Sacramento if it hadn't have been for Curry. Played fucking like the only good game we saw from him. I'm actually going to go myself. Go
Yeah, I'm
DoorDash.
yeah, I'm gonna be out of here soon, so you'll You'll be around maybe later tonight, depending on how it goes, I assume.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck out there.
Thank you. Take it easy.
I kind of think Phoenix is just going to end up a failed window that we keep talking about. I mean, there've been
Yeah.
plenty of them. There've been plenty of them. Like the Nets with Harden, Kyrie, and Durant did nothing, right? They won like one playoff series.
Yes. Yeah, it 1,000,000% what you just said about the Suns. Their window was literally when they made the finals. It's gone now. Because aside from the fact that the team's going to start getting worse, um, all their competition around them is going to get better.
Yeah.
If Denver can keep this core together and if they stay healthy, that's the new dynasty. That's the team to beat. The only way I could imagine anyone if Golden State ends up having the best offseason of any franchise in the league, that they're the only ones I could even see being okay. That's there's your answer. That's who beats Denver. But even then, it'd be fucking close, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Denver. Like the, it's time for all those people who hated on Jokic for no reason to accept the fact that this is their life now, and it's Jokic's time to fucking ball on people. Like,
Hmm. I think that's the likely outcome here, yeah. Like the only guy they might lose this offseason is Bruce Brown, and there are a million Bruce Browns out there.
yeah. The only real question mark when it comes to Denver is whether or not Jamal Murray can stay healthy because he's gotten hurt a couple of times here and there. But Jokic is basically the new Dirk
Yeah.
in the sense that he's offensively unstoppable, and if he doesn't have the help, he will just fucking step it up. Like, even though it was the game that they lost in the finals, game 2 should have made everyone who doesn't like Jokic shit their pants. Because Homeboy was unstoppable. And it wasn't because his teammates weren't there. Like, they literally were on the court, they just weren't producing. So, like,
Well, yeah, that
that's
game 5 against Miami was like nobody could make a three. Denver shot like 7% from three or something. How
right.
many
And
assists would Jokic get if his team could just shoot?
right. And as if all that shit isn't enough, one of the only people who made a 3 that game was Jokic himself.
Yeah.
It's like the guy offensively is fucking unstoppable. These people should be terrified. So it fucking takes a lot to fucking take that guy on, man. Which brings me back to what I was saying initially with the Heat. I'm like, if we sell the farm just to try to get past Denver, it's going to take a hell of a lot, and it's probably not going to be enough. I want a Giannis versus Jokic finals. I have bad news: the Bucks will never make the finals again. Firing Budenholzer was the stupidest thing they ever could have done. It's probably going to scare the hell out of the players. I would not at all be surprised to see Chris Middleton walk in free agency. And the Bucks, I think their window has fully closed. Moreover, I've been saying this for years. Miami has figured the Bucks out, and if they end up having to play Miami in the postseason, they're fucked. Like they're just done.
Yeah. Who did they hire again? The Golden State assistant? I'm trying to remember.
No, the Raptors assistant,
Oh, right. Okay.
which is just really, really questionable. Not a good move.
It's weird though. I mean, if they had just waited 2 weeks, there's no way they fire him, right?
Exactly. If they like don't fire him instantly, wait until the fucking season's actually over before you start making moves like that. Yeah, you know, the stars aligned for Toronto, which is exactly why Kawhi said it himself. Because people look back on it and they're like, man, if only he stayed in Toronto, that team really could have been something for a long time. He left saying, I think one is all we get. We got really lucky here. I think that's the best we can do, and it's time for everybody to get out while the getting's good. Fucking man who dragged that team kicking and screaming said that shit himself. That, like, good God. And he's completely right. That entire run was lucky as hell. That was a fucking Cinderella story and then some. Like, that. A lot of things had to go perfectly right for them in order to win. And they did. Good for them. They earned that championship. But, holy hell. People thinking that Nick Nurse and the Nick Nurse coaching tree are like the fucking greatest. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I still kind of can't believe the Sixers downgraded from Doc to Nurse, though.
Yeah.
That's a bad one.
Hell, I can't believe a lot of things when it comes to the Sixers, man. But Embiid sucks, and he deserves everything that's coming to him.
Does Allah visit dark hours upon him?
Literally as we speak. Dark hours and disaster.
Hashtag not my Sultan.
Seriously, Joel Embiid needs to be on his knees every day thanking Kendrick Perkins for his MVP. Because if Perk didn't come out and race hustle, Embiid would have been... Like, even if Jokic didn't win it this season, which is a huge if, even if he didn't get it, probably would have gone to Giannis. Because the Bucks have the best record in the league. You know?
Yeah? I mean, he was like either second or third on most people's ballots, so you're probably right.
Right, like, the idea that Embiid was the MVP of the league this season, when the Sixers weren't as good as the Nuggets or the Bucks. No, JS, you're wrong. Jokic is getting a makeup MVP regardless.
He'd have to get hurt
The,
to not get MVP, I think.
exactly. As long as the Nuggets make the playoffs, he gets a makeup MVP. Because LeBron got one in 2012. He didn't deserve it in 2011. But Rose didn't deserve it either. And that's when people said, well, fuck, you know, we didn't vote for LeBron because of voter fatigue, and he had an amazing season here. We got to give it to him. Jokic, ironically, had the best statistical season of his career this season. And the Nuggets were a fucking great team. They had a great record. In fact, they would have had an even better record if it hadn't been for the fact that they took the last 10 games of the season off, basically.
Yeah.
With the load management shit. So, yeah, definitely. Actually, Joel Embiid hasn't played in Denver since 2019.
I don't... Huh. That's kind of weird.
He's been dodging Jokic for 4 years. Now, to be fair, because they're cross-conference opponents, there's only 2 games a season, so that one road game in Denver only happens once a year. However, once a year, he refuses to go. That's just bitch-made shit right there. Yeah, Embiid's a puss. % getting a makeup MVP next season. He would have to get hurt, or the Nuggets would have to miss the playoffs, or both, in order for that to happen. And Jokic getting hurt isn't exactly impossible, but he doesn't really play a very strenuous style of game. He could very easily remain healthy. In fact, he's got the capacity to play lots of games every season, but load management.
Yeah.
And Um, if Jokic doesn't get hurt, Denver is not missing the playoffs. It's literally not possible.
Yeah, that's pretty much unthinkable. Like everyone else would have to get hurt.
Even if he was out there by himself, the same way that shit, you can't even say that because I was gonna say Westbrook stat padded a triple double, then had the 6 seed with a bunch of stiffs. I'm like, he still had Steven Adams on that team.
Mhm. I've been watching some like NBA highlights on YouTube lately, and they show like some shot from like recent years, like Kobe's last year, and then the Lakers the couple years after Kobe before they got LeBron.
Hmm.
It was like they became like this resting place for every like washed up veteran that just wanted one last paycheck. Like, did you know the Lakers had Carlos Boozer for a little
Yes,
while? I
yes.
like saw him in a Lakers uniform when I was watching highlights. I was like, wow, he was a Laker? I don't remember
Because
that.
I'm not a
Oh,
Lakers
shit.
fan, but my cable package gives me.
Hold on one second. Somebody just called me. One second.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Just give me 1 second. Here, guys. You called? Hey, give me a minute. Okay, yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna head to a safe point and get
Um,
out of here, but go ahead.
yeah, no problem. I'll make this fast. Because of my cable package, my cable company, I get every Lakers game. So usually, even though I'm not a Lakers fan, it's guaranteed basketball for me. I get every Lakers game. So, yeah, I've seen Boozer, Carmelo Anthony, um, Dwight, who hilariously ended up winning a ring with the Lakers, but just in the wrong season. Um, and so on. But what I will say is is that when you look at who the Lakers drafted, Mitch Kupchak actually did a fucking extraordinary job drafting. And it's a shame that they said, well, we're not competing, so we need to fire you immediately and replace you with Magic Johnson. And Magic was an incompetent moron who lost the chance to get Paul George because he went on national television and unveiled the fact that he was tampering